to man, you know, I was
Texas A&M.
Yo, hey, we back. Hey, how you doing this afternoon, this evening? I'm Richmond Webb, Robert Wilson, my co-host, and thanks for joining us for another show. You can follow me on Twitter at Richmond Webb. You can follow Robert Wilson at Aggie Bull, and you can also follow the show at Starcade Media. And we are the Gig'em guys with Miami ties, and like, share, and subscribe to the show. And we would greatly appreciate that. But I guess I'll go ahead and jump right in. Robert, how you doing today?
doing good, man.
Okay.
Doing good. Currently, you know, my dad sent me a boat down here from Denver, and you know, finding out all of the ways. You know, Denver is a state tax they pay, right? They pay. So when you send a boat and trailer down here, Texas want all their money. So you got to get the boat, the trailer inspected. We had to do all these affidavits for and all this stuff. So that's kind of what I've been doing behind the scenes.
Freshwater boat? What type of boat is it? Fishing boat, Robert? What kind of boat is it?
It's a bay liner. It's
Okay.
a bay liner. It's about 25 feet long.
Well, that's a nice boat. You got a truck? Oh, you still got the Tahoe?
Still got Tahoe.
Okay, but you got something to pull it, so that'll work then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. So, but it's tedious, man. I've been to the office, man. God, they know me. They be like, "Well, no, you still need this," and that's it. So we're trying to get it together. So with the affidavit, you know, with the gift affidavit, you know, got this. He has to print it, sign, do his thing, send it to me, and then I take it, print it, get it notarized, then go back in there.
Okay. Well, I know you get it done. So I mean, much as you fish, it just makes perfect sense that you got blessed with a boat. So that's definitely a blessing. So learn how to navigate a little bit, and yeah, I might have to call you Captain Bull from
now. Man.
Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get into the show. But yeah, that's interesting that you got a boat. I didn't know that. So, but congratulations on that, and that's big time. But this past weekend, Texas A&M traveled to Ole Miss and played the Ole Miss Rebels, and it wasn't an outcome that we wanted or expected. But A&M lost 29-19 to Ole Miss Rebels, and from the start, we just never really got going. Offensively, it seemed like the continuity wasn't there, and I think the thing with Texas A&M is, our identity is to run the football, and Ole Miss did a great job of disrupting that and kind of, disrupting our offense to where we really couldn't get going. And then on the flip side, their offense did a good job of really racking up a lot of yards and stuff in the first half. And I believe they had around 400 yards total offense in the first half, which is a lot because we got one of the top defenses in the, not only in the SEC, but I think in college football. But the good thing about our defense is even though they racked up those yards, they bent, but they didn't break, and really gave up 13 points, which really kept it manageable to where we had an opportunity to possibly, get things going in the second half, but it just didn't work out. And of course, we had the safety. So it was just a tough game on the road. But let me go over some of the stats. I just picked out a few of them, but team stats. A&M had a total yards of 378 yards. Ole Miss had 508 yards. They had 400 in the around 400 in the first half. Rushing, we had 141 yards, which typically we've been averaging 270 to 290 with Spiller and A-Chain, and we only had 140 yards rushing. Ole Miss had 257 yards rushing. Penalties, that's the thing that kind of stood out to me. I wrote that down. We had 10 penalties for 85 yards. Ole Miss had 6 for 51. And then also turnovers. We had 2, late in the fourth quarter, we had 2 interceptions, 1 a pick 6, which definitely took us out the game. And then Ole Miss had 1. But I think that was the biggest thing, is just offensively never really got going. A lot of drop balls. Second half, we kind of came out and did some things. Seemed like they really keyed on Spiller, and they didn't really want to let him get going. But A-Chain had some success in the second half. I think he actually had like 12 carries for 110, 112 yards. So he averaged about maybe 120 yards. He averaged about 10 yards a carry, which was phenomenal. But just drop balls and not making plays at, I think, key moments in the game that stymied us, and we never could get in a flow to kind of get back in the game to, make a challenge to possibly pull out that dub. But that's what I saw. What about you, Rob?
So, man, we talk about getting hit in the mouth, and so I think 2 things happened to us, man. We got hit in the mouth, and we never got out of the gate the entire first half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's close. I don't know if they had a turnover in the first half, if Ole Miss had a turnover in the first half or not, but Ole Miss coaches, I give credit to their coaching staff that they made sure no matter what they did, they wasn't going to match their energy in their stadium. You know what I mean? So that means coming out, playing fast, a lot of energy, hurry up offense, So that's them, man, and they never recovered from it.
Yeah, I agree. You brought up some valid points, and that's one of the things that stuck out. Not only get going, but like you said, they played up tempo. And I was watching the game, and one of my concerns was the defense probably had. I know they had over 40 plays in the first half, maybe close to 50, which is a lot because most of the time you want your defense to play. If they play 60, 65, that's really a good game for them. So with that many reps, I was definitely concerned that they might get tired. And once your defense get tired, it's just you at the mercy of the other team. But like I said, they held up for the most part pretty good. 13 points in the first half, and I think even in the second half, they forced us to settle for some field goals, and then I think we got it to 15, and I think it's 15-9. And one play that really stuck out to me was I think Calzada threw like a bomb to Demas in the end zone, and it hit his hand, but it hit his helmet and bounced out. And those are the type of plays that you got to make on the road, especially when you're in a dogfight. I think if we make that play, that swings the momentum, that quiets down the crowd, and maybe we can make a push to possibly win the game, because now it could be easily 16-15, and we're right back, and the defense has settled down and kind of figured out what the offense was doing to them. But those are the type of plays that swing the momentum, and that's what you got to make. And I think you described it perfectly.
I think for the offensive coaches, for them, I think for Ole Miss is that they did analytics on our defensive sub packages.
Okay.
And that whoever came out there on first down, they was gonna keep them out there until they call a timeout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not subbing, and we're gonna hurry up. You know what I mean? So you got your first, you know. So that took a lot out of them too. Although they stood up, you know, when they could, that takes a lot out of your defense, man.
Oh, no question. Anytime, like you said, and they were successful with moving the chains, this and that. You know, the time of possession, you know, our offense the first half was 3 and out, We couldn't get anything going. Wasn't sustaining blocks. They was blowing up, running plays, this and that, or throwing passes. And I think the biggest thing I took away from this is that, and I'm sure Coach Fisher covered it, but I think the biggest thing is if they can learn to play on the road like they play at home, that's going to be the next step or the next level that they got to graduate from. To no matter where we at, even in a hostile environment, that's really where you got to hone in, make those plays, make those catches to keep the chains moving. Because if you can sustain drives, that helps takes the crowd out the game. And we never really kind of got that going. And when you can make plays or a big play to swing the momentum, sometimes it's just making a tough first down. But if you can get that first down when they thought they was going to get off the field, that helps swings the momentum in your favor. And that was one of the things that stuck out to me was that we got to take another step. And I know this week we got Prairie View, which, that's a winnable game, but we got to go back on the road the last game of the season against LSU. And, they're not having a great season, but when they come
it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, when they come to play, they will come to play. And I still think even it was about 3 years ago, we went into that long overtime game. A lot of them still feel that we cheated them out of the game. So it's not hard for them to get up for the Aggies, but I think that's what we need. That's the type of test we need to say, okay, yeah, we got to go to Baton Rouge. We're going play the Tigers, this and that. It's a hostile environment. But if you can go perform, execute, hone in, and focus in on what you got to do and execute, I think that's when you take that next step. And I think we're there, but I think that's the thing that we really got to mature. We've kind of figured it out at home with the way our crowd and stuff is behind them, but you got to be able to duplicate that on away games as well.
And know that the way you do that is running the ball. I felt like we should have been going no huddle. We just stand there, man. We stand there on offense for the. Just think about this, man. For the whole play clock, right? Our offense and defense, aside from that little motion they run every now and then, our offense and defense are standing in the positions from what they're going to run the next defensive play. So, or offensive play. The whole count. So, of course, the defense going to know what to do. You giving them the damn formation. Same thing on defense. They line up. Now, of course, this is not a something or whatever. You know, it's hard to get lined up. But
Yeah.
this is like first down, they get 2 yards. You know, then so on the defensive side, uh, we got to stop celebrating first down, first and second down. Break when you're coming off the field. Just hold it all in. Don't do all these damn TikTok dances on first down and then give up 3rd and 23.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
First down, okay, let's reload. You know, we're gonna do the dance on off when we walking off on 4th down. That's when you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that just becomes, you know, part of maturing and understanding. And I'll give the defense, you know, once you start up tempo, sometimes you got to go ahead and line up. You can't really trick them because you don't want to get caught when they snap the ball and you're not lined. So defense, but yeah, offensively, you know, the offensive line got to line up. But yeah, I see what you mean as far as motion or, you know, shift these guys this way or this guy lines up this and that. And
We playing against each other. If we playing against each other, your team is out there doing what we do on defense. You know, you line up in the cover 2 shell, right?
mm-hmm.
And for the whole count, you knowing that they not the offense that you're not going to change that because you counting down the whole play clock. So when it get down to 1 and somebody speed across there in motion, you know, sometimes they get caught up. Then that's why they play that little soft zone. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's 2-man under, but it just drives me crazy, man.
Yeah, and I think the way our defense is built, our defensive line is so dominant at times that maybe that's why they get into coverages. But they normally do an excellent job of putting pressure or disrupting plays in the backfield, and you know it gives opportunities for the linebackers to scrape or you know the safeties to make plays. But yeah, that brings up some.
I'll mess around and pull out the Alabama film.
Okay.
And the effort that was given. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's easy when you get home. It's when you get on the road and it's the 11 out there on the field that's got to deal with not only the opposite 11 on the field, but the you know 50, 60,000 that's in the stands at Ole Miss that you know they want to see. So yeah,
But
that's
they
why
went to Colorado. They went to Colorado and made it happen. You know,
we started slow in that game too. If you kind of go back and remember, but it seemed like even if the defense started slow, by the second half they make adjustments to come out and kind of play the type of defense they need to play. But offensively, we didn't do that this game. I think that's why I say somebody's got to step up and make those plays, those catches. You know, make that run, get excited, get everybody hyped up to say, okay, I see. It's just like you know, you make a run or you make a hell of a block on the linebacker to spring, you know, tank for a first down or whatever. Everybody's getting hyped, this and that. I don't see that consistently. I see it at home, but I think that's just part of the maturing and being able to say, you know, like Coach Fisher said, even after they beat Alabama, he said, we got to quit looking at ourselves as the underdog. You got to have that expectation or that mentality to say, no matter what, we're playing in College Station, you know, DC, bowl game or whatever. When we come to town, I don't care what the analysts say. I don't care what anybody else says. We're not the underdog. You know, we're the top dog in this fight. Yeah, you hit us in the mouth, but we've been hit in the mouth before. So, hey, if it's going to be a slug out type of game or whatever, we got to go 4 quarters. We're going to just keep trading blows and see who's going to be the last man standing. And I don't think we that far away, but I think that's the thing that we've got to mature to say, okay. And a lot of times, you got to have like the quarterback. I know on offense, that's normally your leader, kind of rally everybody together, because people feed off. If you're the quarterback and you say, hey, we're finna go out here, we're finna put this drive together, this is blah, blah, blah. People feed off of that because they looking to you for direction. And I don't know sometimes if we got that aspect. It's harder now because sometimes they don't even huddle up. It's different. We could discuss things in the huddle and say, okay, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But now it's different.
So you bring up a good point with that, right? So
yeah.
To expound on that,
yeah.
I would say, what about, so this way, or the lack thereof?
Yeah.
Because now all of these they got 70-something people on the team, 75, 80 people.
Okay.
And all of those people get on that plane as their own, because everybody's their own brands right now, right? So I'm thinking, it can't be just because we all play for A&M, we're gonna go in here and win this. So at some point, you're gonna have to have team chemistry.
I agree.
At some point, every good team, that was number one or number two on the list. And that having team chemistry means we police each other. We hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter who it is. Boy, I remember, I never forget the day I called Tank out on the bowl game. And, Monday, Tuesday, he got, his ham taped up. Monday, Tuesday, it's all the way to Thursday. He come out there looking like, you know what I'm saying? He got his shorts on. I said, hey, man, everybody need to practice, bro. And we was coming out the huddle. I said, everybody need to practice. And then I said, so we ran a play. And I can walk back to the huddle. He said, man, don't ever call me out like that. I said, man, fuck that, man. We got to practice. Yeah. Everybody. Shit, I would love to come out here on Thursday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I catch Coach Helms coming through the locker room. He come pass through. I said, Coach, my knee hurt. Bull, fuck your knee.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I can remember even in college, we had guys that you had to really manage on the sideline. Like you said, we kind of policed each other, but it was guys that would get pissed off, and if they got pissed off, you knew to leave them alone or whatever, or the coaches even knew. Like you said, sometimes they could go off, and if we wasn't playing the way that we were supposed to be playing, they would huddle everybody up and say, hey, this is not who we are. I'm not going out there losing. And some guys, guys like Roper, Wallace, they say, well, I'm going to go make a play. And they would actually go out there and make a play to swing the momentum, whether it was a big-time sack or whatever. And I don't know if that's missing. We don't always get to see the sideline and stuff like that, but to see somebody kind of rally the troops other than the coaches and say, hey, this is not how we do things here. We expect more of ourselves, and we have the talent and
oh my God.
Yeah, and then this recruiting class he's working on now, oh my goodness, it's going to be even better. So I think it's just it's maturing in that way. It's just not quite there yet, but got to have a couple guys to step up to help. That would expedite things if we had a couple guys step up to say, hey, that is how we're going to do it.
Okay, I'm just going to throw. I think he needs to give up the play calling.
Who was that?
Jimbo.
You think he needs to give up the play calling?
He needs to give up the play call because
I,
that part he can. That part of it has. He's still running the plays like he has a pro style offense.
okay.
If kind of haven't, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's doing, man. That's why I don't care. That's why we're gonna stand in here and what we're gonna run. Oh shit, I'm gonna look down here and find a good play. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying tempo, tempo, tempo. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know? Because here we go again. On offense, we have 5 world-class athletes.
And why they ain't playing like it?
Maybe 6.
Why we ain't playing like it?
I'm saying this offense does not put them in a position to take advantage of the mismatch that's obviously there. You can't cover all those kids. You can't cover Demas, A-Chain, Wiedemeyer, ain't play.
So why we ain't getting separation? Somebody should be open then, if that's the case.
If you look at it, it's all everybody. You can have 5 across. You can have empty backfield. Everybody run 5-yard stop, and he try to find an open one. 5-yard out. You know what I mean? I just want to throw that in there.
I hear you, and I hear that, and I think at some point in time, that dog got to come out in you, and sometimes it's kind of like, and I give a perfect example. When you were with the Cowboys, you knew what Michael Irvin was going to do. If he got on the numbers, he was running. You knew what he was going. He wasn't the fastest receiver. He was physical, this and that. But when it came time to play, you could know what he was doing, but you still had to stop him. I don't see that mentality with our guys and say, you know what, whatever it's called, I'm gonna go out here and make a play. If you do it, you're gonna have to interfere with me or whatever. We're gonna move the chains one way or another, and that's what I think we're missing.
We got
the talent. We don't have that dog. Some of them don't have the dog attitude to just say, okay, I'm gonna take it to the next level.
You know why that is?
I'm just,
they don't go ones on ones ever.
I don't know. I hadn't been to practice, but what I'm saying is, even if you don't do that, you're gonna have to do it at some point.
Why wouldn't you? If you got 5 world-class athletes, I'd be like, hey man, if y'all cover them, y'all cover anybody in the country.
Then why they ain't getting over?
We're gonna get better. But that's what my son Ben, man, I'm so proud of him. He does that. He went to Manville, man, his senior year.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he got everybody competing because they had Jalen Walthoff, top receiver. And, him and Ben went at it every day, man.
Yeah.
So like you said, it has to be that person or a couple of guys that say, hey, man. And that's what I'm saying. You look at the vibe on the sideline. Everybody just goes. They don't have no boys. Like, I've been watching all these YouTube when we played at A&M, man, it was like like Mike Jones and Snow. On the field, on the corner, playing cornerback. Mike standing right off the field telling Snow, bleed him, Snow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bleed him.
Yeah, we had some characters. I'll say that to just keep it clean. We had some characters, but we had a good balance of guys that it still worked out. And I think you gotta have balance. You gotta have some guys that, hey, just leave them alone. But when it comes game time, they're gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? So but I think they got to learn it, and I think they learned from this game that just because you've had 3 or 4 wins at home, they don't care about that when you go on the road. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think it was good they got hit in the mouth. I'm expecting when they go to LSU for that last game, I'm expecting to see a different team to say, okay, I'm not saying they're going to go through there and just blow them out, but they're going to compete from the start and say, okay, this is what it's going to be like to when you're in a big game like that, because that's playing in the SEC. And most of the time, people don't care. Yeah, you playing at home. Yeah, you should have a little edge, this and that. But when A&M come to town, even though we're at home, we got to be ready to play, because if not, we can lose this game. So
Yeah, and that's it, man. So I guess we went in on the Aggies, but and I like I said, it's effort, man.
on it, that's it. Well, on another positive note, how about the Dolphins? Second win in a row.
Dolphins 2-0.
Yeah,
They 2-0 the
last 2
last
weeks.
2 weeks.
3-7. It just, man, I tell people, the first one, the first out of the 2 wins we won, it was sloppy, this and that, but I said it'll take it, and sometimes that's what you need to just kind of swing the pendulum in your favor. And I had my doubts, with Baltimore coming in with Lamar Jackson, the way they had been playing this and that. I knew we were at home, but I didn't know if we could pull it out, and for our defense to come up,
that defense.
yeah, big time, hold the Ravens to 10 points, and they played like the 2020 Dolphins defense. You know what I'm saying? Xavier Howard got the thing you sent me, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and we got a lot of the same guys, but we were just in a slump, and the plays wasn't going our way. But big turnover for him, this and that. He don't have 10 picks this year, but that's not realistic to say I caught 10 interceptions last year, I'm gonna catch 10 this year. That's a phenomenal year, and I guess we got a question. Do y'all think Tua showed he is a dog Thursday? I was really impressed by Tua. The thing is, with all the media hype, with going through all this about the trade, he finally gets through that, and then he has a fractured finger, and then at first they're saying he's not going to play, and then to come in the second half and kind of light a spark under the offense. We still got some issues with the offensive line, but to come in and run the offense like he did and command and be the leader, I thought he played well. I think it's just we've got to fix the issues up front with the offensive line, and we've had a lot of injuries in the receiver position to where you don't know who he's going to have to throw to or whatever. And with him being the backup this week, I already know Jacoby Brissett got the majority of the reps. So for him not to get that many reps, to come in and prepare the way he did and come in and play. And what I love about him is even after they interview him about the game, it's never about him. It's about, getting the win, about his teammates, this and that. So those are the type of characteristics I look for in a leader. And I think he definitely has all that. It's just give him an opportunity and get rid of a lot of this negative stuff that's surrounding this young man, where he can just focus on football and play the way that we know he can play. But I thought he played well, so that was a great question.
Man, it was sad that that Brissett got hurt when he did. Because he was winning the game at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you go from getting injured, going in the tent, and you testing. He went over there, he tested stuff out. You say, "Coach, I'm ready to go."
Yeah.
And then he tells you that Tua's going to stay in. But so that's what I want to get to: the reaction from the crowd, as far as how they started playing on offense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can tell that
he brought that energy, man. He brought
the energy, and then to Brissett's deal, like you said, you get hurt, but that's just the competitive nature. Even though you're the backup, if you're winning, you want to get back in the game. You don't want to just sit on the sideline and say, "Okay, hey man, take it, you have it." Let me see. Cap for Life says, "I've been, of course, I've been critical of a kid, but can you not debate on what we saw Thursday night?" Well, what you want me to talk about? I don't know what you want me to talk about.
No, I think he was asking a question about you can't debate on what we saw.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. My bad, Cap for Life. Yeah. Like I said, I've been in this kid's corner from the time we got here. Even last year when they drafted him, he wasn't healthy. Came in, worked his butt off to be healthy. Love you, Cap for Life. Appreciate it. I ain't got nothing but love for you, brother. I just misunderstood it, so my bad. But man, we gotta support our players, and I understand that it's been a long time since the Dolphins have won. This now, I even get people being frustrated or want to vent their frustrations, but at the end of the day, either you're gonna support them or not. And a lot of times you're just doing whatever the team or the coaches ask you to do. But I think a lot of people take it personal, or they'll listen to what different analysts say on TV and this and that, like they got an inside scoop. And I don't. I just try to, I look at it from a different viewpoint. I guess because we're former players, we know how some narratives can be put out there about you that's totally not true. And then, people make it seem like that's the actual thing. But if you just pay attention to that young man and the way he carries himself, he's never had anything negative to say about anybody, regardless of what situation he was put in. He's always, took the high road. So tremendous respect for that young man.
That's why, and you know what? That's why it's easy for him to keep doing that. Come off the bench in the national championship game. Come off the bench and win the last 2 weeks in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's nothing in his mind that tell him, hey man, there's something wrong with this, or this shouldn't be happening. He's like, no, this,
Do y'all think Greer makes it after this season? I don't know. A lot of the fan base, if you follow Twitter or whatever, a lot of the fan base is not happy with Greer or Coach Flores, this and that. I don't know if that's going to be a
I can tell you one person that's not going to be there after the season ends.
Who's that?
Is the offensive line coach.
Yeah,
he's company, but he's not going to be the offensive line coach. They brought him in there as a favor to somebody, obviously, because like I said before, he was a damn assistant for San Francisco. Yeah. Now he's the offensive line coach.
Yeah,
so we're not going to get back into that. But anyway,
you should see some improvement somewhere, and I think that's really stymied our offense, and that's really people they just look at the quarterback position and his stats, but everything starts up front. And I tell people that whether it's offense or defense, that's where everything starts. If you fix that, everything else is going to run much smoother. So if we fix the offensive line and can keep our wide receiver room healthy, that we can establish some continuity, this and that, and I just think we'd be much better off. But yeah, and we've been saying that all year. It's about you got to fix things up front, and I think Chris Greer and Coach Flores know that. So that's definitely, it has to be addressed in our season. If not, they're going to, people going to go crazy. So everybody knows what the situation is now.
That just made me think of something too. That's why they are loyal to Tua as the team.
Yeah.
Because what didn't they do? Every other quarterback in that draft got that left tackle.
Yeah.
Year or the next year. Baker Mayfield, they all got that left tackle, man.
And he
never
do
it for Tua.
he never says anything about the protection breaking down. He doesn't focus on that. You know what I'm saying? He just, man, I mean, his maturity level is way higher than a guy that's only played 2 years in the league. So, me and Ash were discussing we should make a run at Le'Veon Bell, help the O-line get pressure off of them, or call up Dokes. The way you got to get pressure off the offensive line is they got to play better. It's not so much the – I like Gaskin as a running back. I like our running backs. They're not none of the bigger name running backs, but you got to be able to hold and sustain your blocks and create running lanes for guys to get through there. So just bringing in a big name back is not going to fix the issues we got. It's got to be fixed up front first. But that was a great question, but that's just my opinion.
Hey, that's a great question, but this is my answer. Did you see the San Francisco had for the Rams when they ran the ball down their throat all game?
Yeah.
They had the 3 tight ends, and they were running like a split dive right up the middle every time. They pull a guard and tackle, like it's going to be counter.
Yeah.
He's right down the middle. But that was a physical game plan, man. And that's what you got to have.
That, man, I can remember watching, and even I think my rookie year, but I can remember when the Washington Redskins and they had those guys, the Hogs, and their famous play was that counter tray where it seemed like they would pull about 6 people around the corner, and you still had to try to find a running back. But you knew what they were going to do. They executed it.
It was the way to 6 people, but it was just 2 of them.
It was 2, but it seemed like about 6 people coming around the corner. I was like, man, and that was it. But if you played in the NFC East at that time, you had the Eagles, you had the Cowboys, you had the Giants, you had the Redskins, and Arizona Cardinals. But it was just beat them up, black and blue. That was a black and blue division. That's what they used to call it, because it was just, you had to be able to play physical football to even have a chance to win, and you knew what they were going to do, and that's what it was. So yeah, that was the end, but it's a different game now.
Yeah.
So I'll just go through some of the stats of the Dolphins game. But the Dolphins won 22-10. They improved to 3-7. The Ravens 6-3. Like I said, impressive showing by our defense. Xavier Howard was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Held the Ravens to 10 points and second win in a row. And Tua came in and played great in the second half. This week we go to New York Jets. 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 So you have a.
So I think the defense is going to dictate the outcome of this game.
Yeah.
Defense, special teams, because if they come out and play up to there, they're gonna crush the Jets offense, man. So I got a little breaking news here.
Okay, come on with the breaking news. What you got for
me? Michigan State is working on a historic 10-year, $95 million contract. Mel Tucker, Michigan State.
I heard they were, that was the thing even with LSU. First it was Jimbo Fisher, this and that, and he's came out a couple times and said, I'm happy where I'm at. And the last thing I saw from Jimbo Fisher was he was saying, look, we're recruiting one of the best recruiting classes that I've had here at A&M. I think they got the number 1 player in the overall, a defensive lineman or whatever. So he said, why would I recruit all those guys here and then go over to have to compete against them? And so right now I'm going to take him at his word, but the coach from Michigan State, his name came up, and that's when they started discussing about, giving him a long-term deal, which is good. And I also saw something about Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma. They say LSU offered $12 million. Was it 8 years, $96 million? But I think he's gonna stay put at Oklahoma. But it's just crazy. Yeah.
Man, I hope this ain't true, but I was talking to one of my people. They said, you know how they rescinded the tests and stuff for these kids to go to any school now.
Uh-huh.
According to what Deion Sanders and them was doing, Eddie George and the HBCU, so they came back and said, oh, you know what? We're gonna stop the entrance exams. We're gonna stop the placement tests. We're gonna stop that too, because that's why the kids couldn't get in school, right?
Right.
So it's wide open. If I'm a coach at Notre Dame and I want a kid, grades, right? All we have to do is show his progression once he gets here.
Yeah.
Because we're not gonna bring him here and keep him a dummy. He got blessed with athletic ability and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good thing. I think Cap for Life just put up a comment by Kenneth Walker. That's the running back at Michigan State, and I watched him a game. When they played Michigan, he scored 5 touchdowns, and I think a few weeks before that, he scored 4. I think he may be leading the nation in overall scored touchdowns. So he's
you know what I love to see?
What's that?
You know what game I love to see in the bowl? Is Michigan State 5 versus number 9.
Michigan State versus
Texas.
You don't want to see that, bro. Don't do that to them, man.
Those two running backs go
right. Well, that ain't right. Don't do that. Don't do that. Texas ain't ready for that, man. Come on. You gonna kick one down?
Texas got the second coming of Earl Campbell over
there. Hey, man, don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna need more than second coming Earl. You've been watching those scores. Don't do that, man. Come on, man. Don't hype them up, man. Don't gas them up like that. Yeah, that'd be a major beatdown. Don't do that.
Well, I just want to get those two guys on the same field. See what happens.
He's happened to be at Texas. I give him that. I will give him that. But yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Bad call.
Yeah, like I said, we got the Jets. Like you said, I think the defense is definitely key. They got the young quarterback Zach Wilson. And with Phillips and Agba and those guys, I think they're going to get after him. Phillips really been coming on, putting on pressure. And, he was kind of that sleeper kid in the draft, especially on defense. I really liked him. And I really liked Parsons, the linebacker that Dallas took in the first round. So Phillips has really been coming on. And I think we go up there and I think we win this game and we get our 3rd win in a row. And hopefully we can get the offense just to come together. But if we can get the offensive line just play a little bit better, man, I'm telling you, it'll just make everything else just work.
Yeah.
Great. And then
who do you blame for hiring staff on offense? Me personally, man, I think it was a favor. Bring this guy up. Let's bring him up through the ranks. He can go with you. Put him on the offensive line. You got Tua, blah, blah, blah. That's what I think. I saw this on the not to cut off. I saw this on on Fox last night. So I'm wondering if this lady that was doing all the interviews, Buck, is related to Joe Buck, Troy Aikman.
I don't know. Well, I know Joe Buck's dad was like an announcer or whatever. I think he did baseball.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he got a sister. That's a good question. I don't know about
that. Okay.
Yeah. But I think if we can improve on 3rd down efficiency, and the other thing that sticks out to me about the Dolphins is we have a lot of penalties, and I know penalties stop drives or they'll continue to keep drives going for the other team. So if we can minimize some of those things, I think that'll definitely help us going forward as well. But any final thoughts before we sign off, Bull?
My final thoughts are thank you. I was able to go on to my church's midday Bible study today on Zoom, and we were talking the judging, all forms of judging. And I happened to find out something I didn't know, that it, in the Bible, that it, how you say judge, least not you be judged, don't judge, but in the Bible it says to judge with discernment. You know what I mean? And so I found that out through that. So I was happy to get back on that. That's about it. Shout out to StarcadeMedia.com, James Howell Sports.com.
Well, thanks for the question too, Mr. Campbell. We appreciate it. And like Robert was saying, please.
Where's he from?
Huh?
I'm trying to find out where is he from.
He's a Dolphin fan. I'm not for sure where he's from. I think just type in the questions. But also, I know this is Aggies and Dolphins, but our good friend James Howell has a podcast, James Howell Chiefs Talk, and been a tremendous help to us. He's also in the Starcade Media family. But give him a listen. I believe it's Tuesdays at 8:00 Central. His show comes on, but you can find him on YouTube. James, that's JAYMES, Howell, HOWELL, Chiefs Talk. Okay, yeah, put it up there and give him. And matter of fact, I think we'll be live next Tuesday at 7 instead of Wednesday. So if you can, check us out. And we need to start tweeting out that our show will be live on before we go on Twitter. I think that'll help people know. So, Mr. Kemp, I'm in Dallas. That's okay. But like, share, and subscribe. Check out.
I see you sporting that Maverick shirt today.
Oh yeah. I got my basketball gear on tonight. And but yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, and then check out my man James Howell, Chiefs Talk. And I'll actually be on a podcast next Wednesday. I got to confirm that, but I'll keep you updated. But we need to start tweeting to let people know we'll be going live on like Tuesdays for the show and stuff like that. So we're signing out.
Miami Sports Fanatic?
Huh?
Come on and say what's up. Miami Sports Fanatic just came on and said what's up real quick.
Oh, okay. Okay, what's up? Okay. So right there. What's up, fam? I see you. Okay. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. And hey, we really appreciate y'all listening in, and we just got to do a better job promoting the show. But we're signing out. So thanks for having us. We'll see you next week.
Wait a minute. So you putting that on?